be. I've been going nowhere lately. It's time to start all.
Hey book besties, welcome back to another reading vlog. This weekend I am participating in the third round of the Hello Seasons Readathon, which is called the Hello Autumn / Spring Readathon, and I'm so excited to be participating because we are welcoming spring here in Australia, and I am just so excited because the spring prompts I think are definitely my favorite prompts. I will link all the creators who created this readathon in the description box if you guys wanted to check them out, and there will be one final Hello Seasons Readathon this year happening in December, which is the Hello Summer Winter Readathon. If you do want to participate in that, I will of course be participating, and I have actually filmed reading vlogs for the other two seasons as well, so if you haven't already checked them out, I will link them down below too. Anyways, with that all being said, I will share with you the two spring prompts and the two books that I have chosen for those prompts. So the two spring prompts are a book with new beginnings and a book with a pastel cover. So for the new beginnings prompt, I have chosen A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. This is for sure the prettiest book cover I own. It is so aesthetic. And then for the book with pastel covers prompt, I have chosen obviously a Sarah Adams book because she's the queen of aesthetic pastel covers. So I have picked out the match. This cover is also so adorable. There's a little dog on there. I'm going to start this readathon with the new beginnings prompt. So I'll be reading A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow first. I've heard this book is like very much cozy vibes. It's set in England. There's a tea shop, a lot of food content. Yes, that just sounds perfect. Before I start reading, I just wanted to show you guys my couch setup at the moment because I ended up changing out my throw blanket and my throw pillows to more of a spring vibe, and I really love it. It looks so pretty. So I have this blue throw blanket and this blue and white gingham throw pillow, my round pillow, which is iconic. I always have this on my couch. And then the same situation over here. I got the throw blanket and the throw pillows from Coles, and I freaking love them. It is so cute. Anyways, I am now going to officially start reading. I think I'm gonna pop on like a spring ambiance on the TV so I get really set in the spring mood, because not even gonna lie, the weather at the moment is not very spring vibes. It's a bit gloomy. That's what you get when you live in Melbourne.
Sit by the bonfire, velvet that drapes over the sky. Talk under the stars, wonder what life be like on Mars. Watch her.
Just jumping on here to give you my first update. I have been reading for a while now. I have made it up to page 100, which is chapter 11. So I'm about 30% of the way through the book. I'm not gonna lie, this book is taking me a little while to actually get into. It is a bit more on the slower side, so I think that's the main reason as to why. But can I just say I am loving all the food talk in this book, because Lila is a baker, and while she's in England, she's pretty much spending a lot of time in the kitchen baking her favorite Cuban dishes, and all I want right now is cakes and pastries, and I am so hungry. Oh my goodness. So basically Lila's parents sent her off to England to stay with her mum's cousin for the summer because her mental health is not doing too well. Basically a lot of things happened all at once. So her apple leader died, and within the same 2 months she's going through like a friendship breakup as well as a relationship breakup because her boyfriend of 3 years dumps her right before prom night. So she is just really struggling with her mental health. Her parents just, you know, casually send her off to England, and I'm like, I wish I could just get a plane ticket every time I had a mental breakdown and flee the country. Like, wouldn't that be amazing? But Lila is definitely not happy about being in England because all she wants to do is head back to Miami and become the head baker for her family's bakery, because that's what she was initially planning to do. But obviously with everything going on with her mental health, she was just like really struggling. So she's very homesick at the moment, and the only thing that's kind of like helping her overcome the homesickness is baking. And we've also been introduced to Orion, who is the cute tea shop clerk and also Lila's tour guide for the next 3 months. And Lila and Orion are basically bonding over mutual understanding of grief, because Orion's mum has dementia and unfortunately doesn't actually remember him or her family, which is so sad. So they kind of connect on this deeper level. And yeah, that's basically where I'm up to at the moment. I have actually just made myself a cup of tea because obviously we need a cup of tea when we're reading A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. Like, there's literally tea in the title. So obviously I had to make myself a cup of tea. So I'm just going to continue reading while drinking my tea. I just wanted to come on here and give you an update.
Wide-eyed memories ignite. Hold her real tight. Whisper, my child. Seasons will fly by and friends will make you cry. The world will change before your eyes. You'll toast with champagne and make many mistakes that will keep you awake late at night. But know that when the going gets too hard, you'll have me and the stars.
So I've read about 56 pages since I last spoke to you. I'm definitely getting a lot more into the story now. I feel like even though this book is classified as a romance, it's not really focused too much on the romance side of things. It's definitely focused more on Lila. It's definitely more focused on Lila and her grief, and also her overcoming her grief through her love for baking. And the romance is just kind of there as a little subplot. Honestly, not really feeling too much of the romantic connection between her and Orient. I'm definitely sensing more of a platonic friendship between the two, more than an actual romance. But this book definitely encompasses the cozy vibe perfectly. But that is the 50% halfway update. I just wanted to let you know that I'm enjoying the story a lot more than when I first updated you. Good morning, it is the next day. It is Sunday and it is also the last day of this seasonal readathon. Last night I finished A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow, and even though it had a bit of a slow start, I ended up really liking it by the end of the book. I think this book really dealt with grief in a good way. I also really loved the character growth, all the food talk. I loved hearing about all the Cuban pastries and cakes and food in general. Definitely a very cozy read. I'm gonna give you my final thoughts and my rating at the end of the readathon though, because I still don't know what my final rating is for this book since I only finished it just last night. And I am up bright and early at the moment because I am participating in the reading sprints over on Sarah's Reading Nooks channel. She is one of the hosts for this readathon and she's hosting sprints over on her channel, so I'm gonna hop on over there and get some reading done. I'm going to start the second book, which is for the Fresh Starts prompt, The Match by Sarah Adams. I am so excited for this one. This one's only 267 pages. I've never read any of Sarah Adams' books before, but I've heard that she is just the queen of young adult romance, no spice. So I'm just very excited for a fluffy, feel-good read. So this book follows Evie, who works at the Southern Service Paws, and she matches clients up with service dogs. And she meets a single dad named Jacob about potentially matching his daughter with one of the service dogs, and she learns a few valuable lessons through this. Always set an alarm clock. Single dads are way hotter than I previously thought. It is possible to go from fantasizing about kissing someone to wishing they would be run over by a truck in a matter of 2 minutes. So this makes me think that they don't have the best first impression. Unfortunately, I don't hold that opinion of him for very long. Not when he shows me a different side of himself, one that's sweet as maple syrup and hot as apple pie fresh out of the oven. I like that description. Too bad this guy is so far out of my league that I shouldn't even be allowed to enter the game. Jake doesn't seem to get that memo though, and after a few days of working closely with him and his daughter, he starts looking at me with fire in his eyes and making me dream of something I probably shouldn't. This book sounds so good, so let's just jump right into it. I'm gonna hop onto the reading sprints and read along with everyone else.
I wake up, I don't wanna make my bed. I'll save up all my energy. Instead you take up all the energy I have inside, and I can't find a way to just ignore.
The reading sprints have just finished. We did 3 rounds of 30-minute sprints and I got a lot of reading done for The Match, which, can I just say, I am really enjoying this book so much. Like, I was hooked from the very first chapter. It is such an easy, fluffy read and I really love the characters. because what's also really interesting is not only does our main character Evie work for the Southern Service Paws where she matches people up with service dogs, but she actually suffers with seizures and she owns a service dog as well. So I really love that representation that we've got with our main character. I also find Evie such a relatable character as well. Like her personality is so much like mine. That is making me already really enjoy this book because I connect a lot to Evie. Evie and Jacob have also just met. Turns out that it was actually Jacob's daughter Sam who sent off the email to Evie asking to meet and organize a service dog. So when Jacob and Evie actually first met, Jacob's just like, who the heck are you? And he is kind of rude to her and calls her an annoying car salesman. So they don't really have the best first impression of each other. But then Jacob ends up changing his mind because his daughter Sam is so mad at him, and the only way that he can get her to forgive him is if she got a service dog. So he ended up reaching out to Evie again. So they're like forced to spend time together now because she needs to help them pick the perfect service dog for Sam. And I love the daughter Sam because she's like kind of meddling in and trying to get them together because she really likes Evie. I also love Evie's friendship with Joe, who's the owner of Southern Service Paws, because she kind of acts like Evie's second mum almost, because she doesn't really have the best relationship with her parents because her parents are just very controlling and pushy. But yeah, my update at the moment is that I'm 25% through the book. I'm on chapter 10 and I'm really enjoying the book so far. It is such an easy read. I am loving the writing in this book. It is just all fluff. It's feel good. I love Evie's service dog Charlie. He is just so cute and he has so much personality. Like he's literally a human but like in a dog form, and I love that. So yeah, I'm really loving everything about this book so far. Like literally every single thing about this book. Like there's literally like nothing that I can pinpoint that I don't like about it so far. Also, this is really random, but there was a Shawn Mendes reference in here, and you guys know how much I love Shawn Mendes, so that was like immediate yes for me. Anyways, I'm actually heading out at the moment because I need to go to the farmer's market, but once I come back I will continue reading again.
And I can't really take it anymore, cause I can't.
Be real just went off. Be real just went off. My burial just went off and I literally swung into action. Oh my god. I just came back home from running errands. I did do a little bit of reading while I was running errands. I managed to get up to page 100 and I am still really enjoying the story. It is just so sweet. And while I was running errands, I thought I would do the activity prompt, which is treat yourself. So I decided to go and pick up Subway. So I got myself a meatball sub. I'm so excited. I haven't eaten anything at all yet today. And it's lunchtime now. It's past 1 o'clock. So I'm gonna eat my sub and then I will continue reading. I have a feeling I might be able to finish this book today, but we'll see.
Stop you from running around through my mind. Won't stop running, never will. I'll take some melatonin pills this time, cause I
feel like I say this in a lot of my book videos, but men written by women will always be top tier. Like so good. I love Jacob in the match. He is just so sweet. Definitely in the category of like really good book boyfriends. What I really love about the match is that you get both Evie and Jacob's perspective, so you also get to see how giddy Jacob is around Evie and how much he cares for Evie as well as his daughter. Like he's just such a good dad. Also, if you're wondering, I am up to chapter 24, which is page 180, so I have just under 100 pages left of this book. Chapter 3 ended off with Evie and Jacob's first date, where Jacob actually cooked dinner for her, and I'm just like, bless the little things, honestly, so sweet. But of course, Evie's luck, she gets her period at his house while they're on their first date, and she like panics and tries to leave. But because Jacob has basically been surrounded by women his whole life, because he's had his mom, his sisters, he was married to a woman for about 9 years, and he has a 10-year-old daughter. He actually has like a whole cupboard full of pads and tampons for whenever his sisters or his mum visits. Like he literally has a whole cupboard full of them prepared just in case, and I'm like, literally love that. And because we still have like just under 100 pages left to go, I'm just like, is there going to be a third act breakup? Because I feel like everything's been going through smoothly, so I don't know what's going to happen within these last 100 pages, because yeah, I literally don't know. But I just wanted to come on here and give you an update that I absolutely love Jacob as a book boyfriend. This is just such a cute, fluffy, feel-good read, and I'm loving it. It is the next day, so the readathon is officially over, and I managed to finish both of my books for this readathon. I finished the match late last night, and so good. It was so much fun participating. I honestly love these seasonal readathons. The next one will be in December, and I'm so excited for that one because I will be doing the summer prom. So thank you to everyone that hosted the readathon. It was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. But I wanted to come on here and talk about these two books that I read. So for the fresh starts prompt, I read A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Namey. This book was a little slow at the start. It is very character based more than plot based, but as the story progressed throughout the middle and the end of the book, I really enjoyed it. I loved all the food talk, all the talk about Cuban pastries and cakes. Oh my goodness, I was so hungry while I was reading this book. I loved the character development with Lila. I personally didn't really ship Lila and Orion together. I feel like they made really good platonic best friends. I didn't really see much of a romantic connection between them. I definitely understand why people say that this is a very cozy read, because I got very cozy feels while I was reading, and I decided to rate this book 3.75 stars. And then for the book with the pastel cover prompt, I finished The Match by Sarah Adams, my first Sarah Adams book, and I was definitely not disappointed. I will for sure be picking up more of her books, because this one was such a fluffy, sweet, cute, wholesome, feel-good romance, and I really enjoyed it. It was really interesting because we had the epilepsy representation as well as service dogs. I loved reading about the service dogs. That was such an interesting plot line, and I really love that Sarah Adams actually wrote Evie and Sam, who is Jacob's daughter, to both have epilepsy, so they can both like have this special connection to each other, and they really understood each other. And I absolutely loved Evie and Charlie's companionship. Charlie is Evie's service dog, and he was definitely my favorite character. Like, he had so much personality, so much sass, and I just absolutely loved him. This book was so good. I absolutely recommend it to anyone who loves a fluffy romance. This also has no spice. Both of these books are young adult, so they are closed door. So if you're looking for a romance book that doesn't have any spice and is completely YA, I definitely do recommend both of these because they're both so good. So this was definitely a successful readathon because I did enjoy both of these books, and I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me for this readathon. If you guys did enjoy watching, please give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. I post new videos every week. I actually posted a weekly reading vlog, reading only Colleen Hoover books for a week, which was my last video. So go check that out if you are a huge Coho fan, or if you're looking at more reading vlogs. I try to do them every month. And also follow me on all my social medias. I'll have my Instagram, Bookstagram, Goodreads, Amazon wishlist, everything linked down below if you guys want to follow me over there. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!